Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Thursday afternoon presser. We were going to be a bit earlier, but we're on now, and that's the main thing. We'll kick things off with one of our local riders, Daniel Falzon. Daniel, you were up early this morning. Take us through it.
Yeah, I haven't actually slept much coming off night shift, but it's what you got to do.
Be a bit more specific for us. Night shift.
Yeah, night shift working as a paramedic. Yeah.
Yep.
So it was pretty busy night as well, and I'm feeling a little bit dusty today. That's for sure.
Right. So a good night's sleep tonight might give you some advantage and get ready for tomorrow morning.
No, absolutely. As soon as this is done, I'm off home to start pushing out some Z's.
You're not unusual in that you have a job as well, but this weekend, last weekend at Phillip Island, the qualifying result was one out of the box, 0.7 off your best lap, well into 131s. This is, for want of another word, your local track. Give us your thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely. This is my local track. It used to be Manala, but now we have the Bend. It's amazing here. Really excited for this weekend. Our entry list, I was having a look at it yesterday, and it's just phenomenal. Great for the sport, great for Australian Superbikes, and for international riders to see what we have here at Tail and Bend. It's going to be exciting. Hopefully for some close racing would be great.
And what would be a good result?
I think top 5. If you're in top 5 around here, you're doing bloody well.
Yeah, I think that's the case, and we'll see how the weather goes. We'll see what local homegrown advantage that has. I'm going to go all the way left here, Cameron, just to confuse you, to John Lytras. John, coming into this weekend, you're going to be leading the championship in Supersport. It's a pretty heavy next gig in terms of what happens after you win a Supersport title. Have you allowed yourself to get that far ahead, or is it just get these 2 races out of the way and see where you land?
To be honest, we're going to take one race at a time.
Oh, here it comes.
We got a fair bit more work to do. There's 51 points up to grab this weekend, and we just got to stay focused on our job and on ourselves.
So really, are you going to play the championship, or are you going to play for the wins?
It depends how we got set up going and how things are, and I'm further towards the championship, but don't mind taking a win if I can get one.
Well, we'll see how race 1 pans out, and that might tell us what your plans are for race 2. I'll come down the end to someone who hasn't turned a lap here before, Travis Wyman from the USA. Travis, you came over for a bit of a guest run here at Phillip Island. You said the track was like nothing you'd ridden before, and you haven't even turned a lap or walked a lap of the Bend. Take us through your thoughts at this particular point.
For me, I really just kind of started to get comfortable with the bike in that last race. So I'm excited to kind of carry that momentum into this round here. I don't know the track, but I've seen some videos and kind of looked at it, and it seems like it might I might be able to get up to speed a little quicker than I did at Phillip Island. So I'm pretty excited to turn some laps here and hopefully feel comfortable from the get-go.
Now, for those who don't know, and we're broadening our audience here, you don't just race a pure road bike in the USA. Take us through the other category you've raced this year, because if one more person suggests we race it in Australia, I'm going to lose my mind. But take us through it.
Yeah, it's pretty funny when I say I race in the States, everyone wants to talk about the other form of racing on the Harley-Davidson bagger, and it's something very unique, and it's an interesting racing series. It's gained a lot of popularity and momentum, not only in the U.S., but I guess around the world, and it's great to be a factory Harley-Davidson rider in road racing. I never thought that dream would come true, you know.
Well, just wind it back for us. What is a bagger, for those who don't know?
It's something with saddlebags on it, basically. Right now in the series, it's basically Harley versus Indian, and they're right around 200 horsepower. We're pushing lap times within 5 seconds. We could qualify for a superbike race at just about any round we go to, so it's pretty incredible when you see it in person.
It sounds terrifying more than incredible. And for those who want to know, anything in the bags?
No, they're completely hollow.
Oh, that's disappointing.
But that's the number one question we get.
Yeah, a couple of beers or clothes for a weekend away. Anyway, we'll look forward to seeing you this weekend for your first hit out here at the Bend. We'll come down to another one of our foreign guests, Marcel. Now, Marcel, you're used to racing in the Moto2 Championship on a bike that's very different to a superbike, and what are your thoughts leading into racing here for the first time at the Bend? So many new things.
First of all, we're just here for enjoy.
No, we're not.
Yeah, Hooky
we're
said
not.
that last year.
We are probably not. No, first of all, I have to say a huge thanks to Jack that he brought us here. He put all this together. It was such a big effort, I think, to bring us all here, bring the bikes together, put all this on track, hopefully tomorrow. For me, it's just jumping on the bike and learning the bike and the track tomorrow. So not big expectations for tomorrow, just go on the bike, enjoy, and see what we can do.
Now, normally in motorsport, the first job is to beat your teammate, but you're not even on the same bike. So how's that going to go? You know, Hooky's already giving you grief. I can feel it. Is that the first goal, is to beat Hooky and beat Jack, or is the first goal just to turn laps and get used to it?
Well, first goal for sure is to beat Hooky.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. And then we see what we can do with Jack. Obviously you always try your best, so we will see what I can do. But yeah, like I said, it's the first time on the bike, on the track, so for sure it takes some time to get used to. But obviously on Sunday we want to be up there.
All right, we'll look forward to seeing you part of the Thriller Motorsport team. I'm going to come down to our far right to Joel Kelso. Joel, we've spoken about riders that aren't used to being on a superbike, and while you guys sort out the mic situation, we'll see what's going on there, Brady. Just say some words and we'll hear you. Yep. We talk about people who haven't ridden a superbike. You're the king at this particular juncture. You've sat on this particular bike once, which is the only time you've been on a bike over 100 horsepower. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just a bit of fun. The last time we came out here, we had to go on it, and yeah, it was a bit bigger and a bit faster than the other bike, but it's a bike in the end, so just out here for a bit of fun, and we'll see how we go.
Now, for you, working here with Jake Skate, who you've worked for previously in this championship, it must be just nice to do the sort of things Jack and his crew are doing this weekend, is hang out with some friends and have a go at some racing over the weekend.
Yeah, that's it. Well, that's the main reason why I did it. You know, come back here, race in ASBK with all the boys, and just enjoy the weekend. And obviously, alongside with Nathan and Jake and all the guys out here, just to have a fun weekend, really. So just bring us all together. So I thought, why not? We'll fly back from Europe, quickly have a race here, and then head back. So it was a no-brainer.
All right. Well, we've talked about fun, but really, realistically, you guys all get the red mist on. What would be a good result for you, Joel Kelso? I mean, you know, we've heard top fives thrown around. Is the top 10, top 5 on the box? What are we talking?
No, I have no idea, honestly. I don't even know how I'm going to go. I could go out there and be like 15 seconds from the first. So honestly, I have no idea.
You tested here, so don't give us that. Well, how did you go? Really?
No, yeah. When I was here, I would have been last. So let's see tomorrow. But obviously, no. When the weekend starts, you always got to be faster. So no, we'll see how we go.
All right, we'll come back to another one of our local riders in Bryan Staring. We get a microphone across to him. Thank you, gentlemen. Brian, Wayne Maxwell out on the grid was giving a few of these boys grief, saying you're rocking up for the last round. Where were you for the other 6? But really, it is fantastic to have our guests along. But what are your thoughts in terms of the way this could pan out for the regulars?
Well, I don't know. I mean, looking at last year, like obviously Jack was really strong, and I would expect that.
Hooky was a wrecking ball. Go on.
So we'll watch out for Hooky in turn 1, and otherwise we should hopefully try and sit on the back of Jack. Look, I know it's hard to know how everything's going to pan out right now, but I think that we can be sure that the racing is going to be really close. And like, big thanks to Jack for coming back to support this and bringing his mates along, because this is so awesome. It should just be a good weekend for everyone to have dig in and see where they stand.
Now, to be fair, Brian, I've given everybody a little bit of a curry about how they're going to go. You're second in the championship with a theoretical chance of winning the title. So, you know, as for all the fun everyone's having, there's actually a title on the line here. We've got some funny weather potentially coming. I know everyone said it's going to be sunny, but we could get rain. We could get all sorts of mixed conditions. Just thinking about doing the Wayne Maxwell thing, worrying about what you're worrying about and letting the rest do? Or is there some thought, you know, this title is live?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, I don't know if it's the Wayne Maxwell thing or not, but like concentrating on each race is really just, I guess, a bit of more of a strategic thing. But the points are like there's a lot of points to gain. There's a lot of points to gain to actually have a crack at it. But until it's over, it ain't over, and we'll keep trying. So like you say, the weather on Sunday is dicey. Anything can happen. There's been some steamrollers I've heard in the first corner, so just try and get through the weekend and
see if the cards fall your way. Well, we'll look forward with much anticipation, Brian. I'll talk to the bloke next to you, or to your right, Hooky. Give him 2 mics. He's ready to go in stereo. Hooky, you're back again. Last year, a bit of a funny old mixed bag of racing, but obviously you can put that behind you because, you know, it was a bit of fun and so on. But, you know, we have joked a lot about having fun, but, you know, racing's racing, yeah?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, we all say we come here for fun, but at the end of the day, I can guarantee you, everyone sitting at this table and in the class want to win. You know, it doesn't take a genius to work out when you walk down the pit lane there and you go past Thriller Motorsports pit box that we're not here for fun. We've brought the big guns here this weekend, and you know, if it's not me winning, it's one of these two lads over here next to me will want to win. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Obviously, the boys have done an amazing job to get everything ready on such short notice and basically start from scratch. So you know, the huge props to them. And the bikes haven't been out on track yet, so hopefully tomorrow all things go pretty smoothly and we can get stuck into it.
Now let's just bring it home to you. You've been racing a Honda this year, but how far removed is the bike and endurance superbike versus Australian Superbike, and you know, what's the adaptation process going to be like?
Yeah, I mean, there's not much similar on it at all, really. But as I said, as you said, I've rode the Hondas for a lot of years now, and I'd say it'd be very similar to Penrite Honda's bike that I rode here last year. So, but even with that being said, there's a lot of components that are different, even between mine and Troy's bike, for example. So we'll have to wait and see. At this point in time, we don't know.
Might have to steal some more parts from them. We'll come down to another local lad in Arthur Sissis. Arthur, you've raced the bloke sitting next to you in Moto3, and you've been racing, and you've had a pretty good year this year in Superbike. But what's it like coming back to, here we are, South Australia, you're a local lad to this track with all these guys coming along for the weekend?
Oh, fuck no.
That's good. No, that's what it is, Arthur. It's your voice.
Yeah, I've been waiting all year for this round again because last year got cut short a little bit too soon. But yeah, it's good to be back riding with Jack and all these guys. They're the best in the world, so yeah, it should be a good weekend.
Now, your form at various places has been really good. Sometimes you've been missing, but other times you've been right up there, and certainly on the weekend you showed you can be there. Darwin, you showed you can be there. But this track you've spent pretty reasonable time at. What would be your reasonable expectation for this weekend in terms of result?
Oh, I've only ridden here once since last year, so
don't spoil it for me, Arthur.
The same as everyone else. But we had a good test here a few weeks ago, and I was quite fast. And I like to say I was close to a podium last year, and I think that would be a pretty good result, but anything, probably top 5 would be pretty good.
I think that's a reasonable expectation. We'll turn now to the bloke who's here in the two hats, that is the owner of the Thriller Motorsport organisation. Jack, world domination, no theoretical chance of taking the team's title this weekend, so the pressure's off, just enjoy yourself.
The real owner's just walked in, actually. The wife's over there checking in. So, yeah, she's actually the real owner here. But, no, it's awesome to be back here. And to do it with the 3 bikes, it's amazing, you know. To get everything together has been a nightmare. I can't even begin to thank the people because, you know, with posting stuff from Europe and whatnot, stuff getting lost, and then fairings getting painted on Thursday last week and flown in with one of the boys on Monday. So it's been a nightmare, but we managed to put everything together, ship it all down from Townsville, and yeah, we're here to have a crack. As the boys said, none of the bikes have been tested. Franco, who has absolutely no idea about a road bike, is the only one who's tested all 3 bikes up and down Sterrett Road where I live. So fingers crossed they go all right on the track.
Now, last year, by the second race, you were really finding your feet, and the bike was working really well for you. Obviously, that'd be nice if that was your starting point for this weekend. But you know, you really didn't come here just to have fun. I know you do, but I know as a competitor you want to contend. Podium is a pretty reasonable goal for this weekend.
Yeah, for sure. You know, we've got a lot more experience than what we had last year. Last year was all brand new, but yeah, I know the track. Okay, the bike's brand new, but it's very similar to what I rode last year. So no, I think we've got a good chance. Changing the tyres, we don't really know what to expect there in the tyres. I mean, I rode them once at World Ducati Week and was pretty happy with them. So it'll be interesting. I think we can do a good job. But yeah, it's one of those weekends where I get to get my hands dirty and actually touch the bike a little bit, and I don't have to sit in my corner. So it's kind of nice to just get back to the basics again. But of course, with the competitive edge as well.
Well, last week we saw the Boost Mobile with K-Tech. Ducati team have some team orders. Any team orders within the Thriller group at this particular point?
Team order is that Hooky don't T-bone anybody because I've got to pay for that motorbike. Cheers.
Well, on that note, we'll wrap up here from our Thursday press conference. Thank you all for coming along, and we'll look forward to seeing you on track for the first time tomorrow morning as the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance Australian Superbike Championship presented by Motul hits the track. Thank you all. Yeah.